It was the chilly morning of December 18th, 1995, when something strange caught the eyes of a few villagers in a small Indian village surrounded by golden fields. Right there, in the middle of the crops, something shiny was glimmering under the sunlight. When people went closer, they were stunned. It was a strange-looking rifle, the kind no one in the village had ever seen before. While the villagers stood there, confused and whispering about where it could have come from, someone shouted that there were more lying around, 35 more rifles scattered across the field. Within minutes, the whole village gathered around, curiosity turning into panic. The police soon arrived, and the scene turned even more serious when they found grenades. Yes, tank-destroying grenades, floating in a nearby pond. This bizarre incident took place in the Purulia district of West Bengal, India, an event that would go on to become one of the most mysterious cases in Indian history, the Purulia Arms Drop mystery. As police officers carefully searched the area, they discovered a few olive-green metal boxes, broken and attached to torn parachutes. In total, 3 of these parachutes and boxes were recovered from the area, but the big question remained: who had dropped them and why? Soon, the Indian Army joined the investigation. It was obvious that if these boxes had come down with parachutes, they must have been dropped from an aircraft. Witnesses from nearby villages claimed that a plane had flown unusually low over Purulia the previous night. Could it be the same one that dropped the weapons? No one knew for sure, but everyone was asking the same question. Why would anyone drop 4 tons of weapons over a quiet Indian village? Media coverage exploded. According to reports, the crates contained nearly 300 AK-47 rifles, 25 pistols, 2 sniper rifles, 2 night vision binoculars, over 100 grenades, and 16,000 bullets. The total weight was more than 4 tons. Investigators started tracing aircraft movements from the previous night. They soon found out that a Latvian Antonov An-26 cargo plane belonging to Letin Air had taken off from Karachi, Pakistan, passed over Varanasi, and then flew exactly over Purulia, West Bengal, where the weapons were found. The plane then flew across Kolkata and exited Indian airspace, eventually landing in Phuket, Thailand. But was this the same plane that dropped the weapons? There was no concrete proof, just suspicion. Yet, one small mistake by the crew soon changed everything. When the pilot had requested entry into Indian airspace, he told civil aviation authorities that his destination was Cambodia. But after leaving India, the plane didn't go to Cambodia. It landed in Thailand. That single lie raised serious doubts among Indian authorities. A few days later, on December 22, 1995, the same Letin airplane once again asked permission to re-enter Indian airspace. This time, it claimed its destination was Latvia. But before heading there, it wanted to stop in Karachi for refueling. This time, India was ready. As soon as the plane entered Indian airspace, 2 MiG-21 fighter jets from the Indian Air Force intercepted it and ordered it to land at Mumbai Airport. And that's where a whole new chapter of this mystery began. For 45 long minutes after landing, the aircraft sat quietly on the runway. No security forces, no officials approaching it. Inside were 8 people whose identities would soon turn this strange airdrop into a global thriller. One of them was Kim Davy, a Danish national who had spent the last 18 years working on community projects around the world, in Guatemala, Russia, and even India's Purulia district, the same place where the weapons had been dropped days earlier. Then there was Peter Bleach, a British citizen and former member of the UK's Special Air Service, SAS, and the Elite Military Unit. Later, he became a weapons dealer, but years after this incident, it was revealed that he had actually been working undercover for MI6, the British intelligence agency. The third person was Deepak Manakt, an Indian-Singaporean national and follower of the Ananda Marga organization. Interestingly, the headquarters of this very organization were located not far from the spot where the weapons had been dropped. The remaining 5 crew members were all Latvian nationals. For 45 minutes, the plane remained idle, During that time, Kim Davy quietly took some documents, got off the plane, and disappeared from the airport, vanishing into thin air. He wasn't seen again for years. Moments after he left, security forces surrounded the plane, stormed inside, and arrested the 7 people who were still on board. When investigators searched the plane, they found documents linking it directly to the Purulia Arms Drop, and that's when the real mystery deepened. Inside the plane, investigators discovered photographs of the Ananda Marga headquarters and some half-burned documents linked to the weapons. The evidence was clear. These men were the ones who had dropped the weapon-laden crates, but the biggest question still hung in the air. Why? And who had actually planned this entire mission? During interrogation, Peter Bleach confessed that he was indeed a weapon dealer. He explained that Kim Davy had ordered him to arrange a shipment of arms from Bulgaria. According to Davy, the weapons were supposedly meant for the Bangladeshi military. But Peter had his doubts. Something didn't feel right. He suspected that these weapons might be used for illegal purposes, so he secretly informed the UK intelligence agency. However, his higher-ups told him to continue the operation as planned. But that raised a strange question. If the Bangladeshi military really needed these weapons, why would they be airdropped secretly over Purulia, an Indian district? Why not deliver them directly? That mystery has never been fully solved. Later, BBC's investigation revealed something shocking. The weapons were allegedly meant for the Ananda Marga organization. Meanwhile, India's CBI contacted Interpol to extradite Kim Davy, who had escaped and was later found living in Denmark. In an interview, Davy admitted that he had indeed worked with Ananda Marga members, claiming that the West Bengal government was brutally oppressing them. He said the weapons were meant for their self-defense. But his confession didn't end there. It ignited a storm of controversy. Davy alleged that members of the Indian Congress Party, even the Prime Minister, and some officials from RAW, India's intelligence agency, had helped him in carrying out the entire plan. He even claimed that during his escape from Mumbai airport, he received help from MP Papu Yadav and the then Prime Minister Narasimha Rao himself. However, the CBI completely denied all of Davy's accusations, saying that he had made up the story just to avoid extradition and punishment in India. Back in 1995, when the event took place, West Bengal was under the rule of the Communist Party of India, CPI. The number of Ananda Marga followers was increasing rapidly, posing a political threat to the CPI government. Davy claimed that CPI members secretly attacked Ananda Marga followers and later disguised the assaults as mob violence. The government, he said, always covered up these incidents, while the central government could do nothing, because the attackers' identities were never known. That, according to Davy, was why he wanted to arm Ananda Marga, so they could defend themselves. But how true were his claims that the Prime Minister, Congress, and RAW helped him? There was no solid proof. Yet Davy went further, alleging that the Congress government wanted to create chaos in West Bengal so that it could impose presidential rule and dismiss the CPI-led state government. He even revealed chilling details, that his escape from Mumbai was carefully arranged. Davy claimed that if he had been captured, the whole truth would have come out. That's why, he said, security forces allowed him to walk out safely, where a black SUV was already waiting. From there, he was secretly escorted out of the country and flown to Denmark. Meanwhile, the Kolkata High Court sentenced Peter Bleach, Deepak Manakt, and the 5 Latvian crew members to life imprisonment for conspiring against India. But over the next few years, things took an unexpected turn. While in prison, the 5 Latvian crew members were granted Russian citizenship, and in the year 2000, they were pardoned and released following a special request from Vladimir Putin. Later, in 2004, Peter Bleach was also pardoned and released, sparking outrage and speculation that the UK government had pressured India for his release. A few years later, Annie Machon, a former agent of MI5, revealed that Peter Bleach was indeed an undercover agent for MI6 and had been working on similar secret missions for the British government. As for Kim Davy, Denmark's court refused to extradite him to India, fearing he might face torture in Indian custody. Meanwhile, British police, during raids on Peter Bleach's property, discovered documents from the same arms consignment, bearing the signatures of a Bangladeshi military general, Mohammed Sobid al-Buyan. The crates found in Purulia also had markings from a Bangladeshi military cantonment. But the Bangladeshi government distanced itself, calling all those documents fake, and so, decades later, the Purulia Arms Drop remains an unsolved enigma. No one truly knows who masterminded the mission. Was it Peter Bleach, Kim Davy, or were they just pawns in a much bigger game? Who paid for those weapons? Why did it take 45 minutes for security forces to reach the plane after it landed in Mumbai? And how did Davy manage to escape despite such heavy airport security? These questions have haunted investigators for nearly 30 years, and no one has ever found the real answers. Thank you for watching this episode. Don't forget to like, share, and comment if you enjoyed the story. Your support means the world to us. See you soon in another thrilling video.